In today's tutorial, we're going to be learning how to remove background from Photoshop, right? How to remove background from a picture, in Photoshop, right? So if today is your first time on this channel, please subscribe and let us grow it together, right? So let's first of all look at the pictures that will be removing their backgrounds, right? I want to use these pictures for, some things, some designs, right? So we want to remove this complex background you're seeing at the back. We want just the picture of the couple, right? So we'll remove that and then we'll remove the background of this one too, right? Okay, let's launch our Photoshop now, right? This is my Photoshop. So I will come back to the pictures, highlight the two of them, and then drag them like this and take them to Photoshop. You drop it at the top like this so that it opens, the two of them will open in different workspace, right? You see it, right? You see this one here and you see this one here, right? So let's first of all start from here. So the first thing you do, right, is you unlock the picture, right? Unlock it like this, right? And then come um to your quick selection tool. When you click on the quick selection tool, you reduce it. If it's big, you reduce it, and then you begin to drag it around like this to select the background, right? Don't let it enter into the picture, right? You see, you select it like this, you select it like this, you select it like this, right? You select it like this, you select it like this, right? So do you now see that in this thing that they are holding, right? You see that there is a color green, a dark shade of color green that enters inside, right? And you don't want to cut all of these things away. This is where it becomes a little bit complex, right? You don't want to cut all of these things away. You only want to remove the background color. So what do? You will hold your alternate key on your keyboard and deselect. You just be clicking around, deselect it, right? Just select down to where this thing ends and then make sure you deselect this like this with your alternate key. Deselect it and leave this side alone, right? Now reduce your brush again, right? You reduce the brush from here. This is where I reduce it, right? This place, you reduce the brush, right? Then you zoom it like this. Then hold your alternate key and also deselect. You see that this selection is entering into the bride's arm, right? Then you hold your alternate key and deselect it like this. Deselect it, deselect it like this, right? Just leave it like this. You can bring it a little, reduce it again. You can bring it like this. It's better like this. So you now leave this side, we are coming back there, right? So you need to select this side too. You need to select here too. When you select it, if the selection touches the body, then you hold your alternate key and then deselect it like this. Deselect it like this, right? You deselect it like this, right? You deselect it, right? When you're done deselecting it, you look for other parts where the selection enters, the body. like this place that was not selected, you select it, right? You will select it and then come back here and select it like this, right? Then you hold your alternate key again and then begin to deselect like this. You deselect like this, right? You deselect all of them like this, right? You see what we have right now. You see what we have. Make sure everything is perfectly selected, right? Make sure everything is perfectly selected, right? So you also see that it's okay here, right? Then you right click. Oh, there's a place that we did not deselect, and that's this place. Let's deselect this place like this. Yes, that's okay. Then you right click and come to feather, give the feather like 1, right? And then you say okay. Then you press delete key on your keyboard, right? You see what we have right now. You press delete key on your keyboard, right? So you see these groom's beards will touch it a little bit, but come to your polygon lasso 2, then select like this. Select like this. When you select like this, join it together and then delete, right? You can use the feather again. You can use like 2 for the feather and then delete, right? So when you're done, you come to your uh, clone stamp 2, right? When you come to clone stamp 2, you click on it. Then you come to this darker shade of the beard and then you use it to mash all of these parts to make sure that all those parts are corrected, right? You see, you hold your alternate key again, then click on the darker shade of the picture of the beards, right? And then you you see what we're having. Then you reduce your brush again, reduce it like this, right? When you reduce it, you come again and click, then you do it like this. You see what we have. Then you adjust it, adjust it. Can you see what we have? Same thing here, right? Same thing here, right? You see what we have, right? You see what we have. That's perfectly done, right? So what we are going to do to this place, right? Come to your um come to your lasso 2 first. Come to your this 2, come to it first, and make sure you delete this one. We don't need it. And it's outside, right? So what we are going to do for this side is we are going to come to our select, right? And come to color range, right? Then you click on color range. Then you now click on this green side. Click on it, right? You see that the place is becoming white. So the whiter part means you are not selecting, you are selecting that part. The darker shade is where you are not selecting. In other words, the parts that are black are the parts that you need. So the parts that are white are the parts that you don't need. You see that this side is white here. right? And a little white on the picture that we need. So we are going to deselect that after we click on OK here, right? You see that it has select the green area, and then it also selects the picture that we need. So what are we going to do now? We're going to come back to our quick selection tool, right? Then come here and increase our brush, right? When we increase the brush, when you increase the brush, you now hold your alternate key on your keyboard, right? And start deselecting these ones like this. And start deselecting these ones like this. Make sure you deselect it down to the part that we don't need. We need now we have all of them are deselected. Then we have only this part. What are we going to do now? We're going to right click on it and then come to our feather and make sure the feather is in like 2, right? Or let's make it 3. Then you say OK, right? When you do that, you now say delete on your keyboard. You press the delete button on your keyboard. You delete again, press delete again. You see the way it was before. You delete, it's still showing some kind of background, like it's not properly removed. Then you press delete again, then delete again, right? Delete again, and then Control D to deselect. You see what we have right now. You see what we have right now. Then you come and pick the lasso tool to delete this outline that you're seeing here, right? You see what we have right now. We have properly removed this background, right? We have properly removed the background. That's for that one. So let's go to the second one now, right? So this one we are going to do the same thing. But this one does not, the background is not really complex like that. You just pick your quick selection tool and then select reduce your brush, right? Then select it all around, select the parts that you don't need. Don't worry, all these ones that enter, you are going to deselect them, right? Right? So when you have it like this, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to hold your shift key on. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to hold your alternate key on your keyboard, right? And then begin to deselect like this. Begin to deselect like this, right? Begin to deselect like this. Right? So that is that part. Then we come to this side. We make sure we deselect it properly so that it doesn't eat into our picture. Right? Right? We make sure it doesn't eat into our picture. You see what we have right now. Then we come to the curve. This side enters a little bit, right? Then we come to the curve and deselect again, right? Then the head here, right? You see what we have right now. You see what we have right now, right? So now that we've done this, we highlight it, right? When we select it like this, the next thing we're going to do, make sure that this layer you're seeing here is unlocked. How do you unlock it? You double click on it and then click OK, right? Then you can now press delete on your keyboard, right? And then it is deleted. You guys see what we have right now, right? So in a case where you have to delete a complex background pictures like a tree, right? Let's go online and search for like tree. tree. Okay, let's say something like this, right? Something like this. Let's download this, right? Or something of this nature, where you want to remove the white background and the white is in everywhere. You know, let's save it. I will show you. Right? So let's bring all of them. Let's bring the two of them to Photoshop. Let's drag the two of them to Photoshop. Right? So now you have whites all over inside. It could be another color, it could be red that is inside like this. It's red everywhere and you want to remove the red instead of this white, right? What you're going to do, so you come to your select, right, and come to color range, right? When you come to color range like that, immediately it's automatically selecting this guy you're seeing here, right? It's called eyedropper 2. Then you now come outside and click on the white part that you want to select. You click on the white part, even if it's red, right? Even if it is red and you want to delete that red, just click on it and automatically it will be selected, right? Then you can now adjust this part a little to make sure that it selects everywhere that is white, right? Select everywhere that is white. Don't select it, because if you select it too much, it will chop into the picture. So just moderately adjust it, right? When you moderately adjust it, you now say okay, right? When you say okay like that, you see that it has selected all the parts that you need to remove. All the parts has been selected. All the parts has been selected. Then you just say, you make sure that the layer is unlocked. You double click on it and say okay, right? When you do that, you just delete, right? You see what I have now, right? You see it. Then you now press Ctrl D on your keyboard to deselect. You see what we have right now. It has been removed. The white part has been removed, right? The white part has been removed. Let's do the same thing for the other one, right? Make sure your layer is unlocked. You come to select, come to color range, and then click on white. When you click on white, you say okay, and then you delete. Automatically everything is deleted like that. Everything is deleted, right? So I've shown you two ways now to delete a background. One is using um your quick selection tool, and the other one is using your select range, yes, color range tool, right? You come to select and you come to color range. That's the second one, where you can use it to remove complex backgrounds. You know, it could be a picture, it could be something else that you want to remove the background of, right? I'm also looking for something else that we can remove the background, right? I'm also looking for something else that we can remove the background. Okay, for instance, let's look at this picture. Right, when you have this picture like this is not complex like the tree that we removed. This is just too straightforward. So just come to your quick selection tool and then select the part that you don't want. Select the part that you don't want, and then you see, you see, then you make sure that the selection does not eat into the picture. So if it does, you just need to press your alternate key and then start clicking on the parts that you don't want to select. Like here now, we need to allow this hair breathe. This hair you're seeing here, we need to allow it breathe. So we hold our alternate key and then click on it like this. Click on it like this. You see it's deselected like that, and then we can now right click and put our feather into line 1 and then say OK and then delete. You see that automatically we have our background removed. Now you can now save this as PNG, or yes, you can save it as PNG and take it to CorelDRAW and use it on your design. How do you save it as PNG? You come to save as. When you come to save as, you say save on your computer, right? You now select where you want to save it and then make sure it's in PNG, right? And then you save, right? When you save, you now say OK. The same thing, the same way you will save all of these. You just come to save as, right? Come to save as, right? And then come to save on your computer and then select PNG here, right? And then you save, right? And then you say OK. So that is that. So when we save it, then we now go back and see then where we save it. You see now there is no background. There is no background. There is no background again. So you can carry this to CorelDRAW and use it on your design. If you want to see more of this background removal tutorial, right? Because there are other ways that you can remove background. So if you want to see more, say something in the comment section and I will know that you all want me to record more of the background removal tutorial. See you guys on the next one.